What is considered an island depends on the tides, the sea level, the planet's temperature, the condition of the polar caps and glaciers. The island is a body of rock, earth, sand, seashells, corals, and plastic, which happens to lift its head above the body of water at the time of our observation. Our distant ancestors knew other islands during the last ice age, and those who follow us will share the same fate. The ark sets down on the one place on earth that remains uncovered by water, a circular and sacred place, from which the world begins anew. It is an island or a mountain, or both at once. The island is a mountain under water, and the mountain an island that is still dry. As territorial land dwellings begins, it is hard for us to imagine ownership of the sea. But what about deserted islands? If they are shaped by the sea, can they belong to it? Deserted from the Latin desertum, which means forsaken, abandoned, indicates the inability or unwillingness of humans to clinch onto those pieces of land. However, that doesn't make an island uninhabited. Smooth space is occupied by intensities, wind and noise, forces and sonorous and tactile qualities, as in the desert, steppe or ice. Striated space, on the contrary, is canopied by the sky as measure and by the measurable visual qualities deriving from it. The sea is a smooth space par excellence, and yet was the first to encounter the demands of increasingly strict striation, a result of navigation on the open water. Before modernity, deserted islands were often considered sacred, places reserved for the gods, where the spirits rule and which chose certain humans to enter them. It was where rebellious individuals took shelter from the chains of society, where pirates, runaway slaves, or mutinies mingled. With the rise of modern society, those unproductive pieces of land changed their character. Naval bases, guano mining, sand quarrying, and prison complexes were introduced, and offshore constructions created new islands. Sometimes the island is formed out of various bodies, nurtured by the sea, who over millions of years replaced geological structures to become the island themselves. These bodies, might they belong to mollusks or corals, are shaped by the ocean and broaden the question about the island. Is the island not simply a solid body whose existence is dominated by the liquid medium which surrounds it? Does the island have more in common with other bodies which share its fate than with the mountain which is surrounded by a lower density atmosphere? If we deal with the island as a body continued and determined by the world ocean, could this not invite other bodies to the discussion as well? Cruise ships, algae, whales, offshore drilling platforms, plastic particles, corals, grains of sand, or refugee boats strive for inclusion. Maritime bodies form a complex web of interactions, coexistence and rivalry within the broader body of water, which we call ocean. They play a vital role for human society and the equilibrium of our planet as a whole. Maritime bodies are shaped by the sea and are in turn shaping the bodies of land dwellers. Moved by the sea, moving in the sea, or being static, in the light-flooded upper areas or in the depths of the sea, which were never touched by a sunbeam, maritime bodies demand visibility and sovereignty.